All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into Grant Cardone's The 10X Rule. It's a philosophy that's really built on one huge idea, that the most successful people out there use a single principle to get these massive, extraordinary results in pretty much every part of their lives. So let me ask you something. We're always told to set these small, achievable goals. But be honest, have you ever hit one of those realistic targets and just felt kind of underwhelmed? You know that feeling where you technically succeeded, but you didn't really get what you truly wanted? Well, that exact feeling is where the 10X rule begins. And this gets right to the heart of the problem that the 10X rule is trying to solve. Our society's, addiction to average. In a world that changes so fast, this idea that good enough is a safe bet is just a dangerous illusion. In fact, aiming for average might be the biggest risk you can possibly take. It's almost a surefire way to watch your biggest goals just slip right through your fingers. So let's really look at this. Why is aiming for the middle of the road actually the riskiest strategy of all? It feels like we're almost wired to miscalculate everything. We set a goal, but we completely forget to factor in all the real-world stuff, the unexpected problems, a market that suddenly shifts, or competition that comes out of nowhere. The core message here is to just assume that every single project is going to demand way more time, money, and energy than you can possibly imagine. An average plan? It just leaves you with no fuel in the tank when you inevitably need it the most. Okay, so if average is the trap, how do we get out? Let's dive into this powerful principle for breaking free. At its heart, it's a really simple two-part formula. First, you 10x your targets. Whatever goal you have in your head right now, just multiply it by 10. Don't even worry about the how yet, just radically expand what you're aiming for. And second, you 10x your action. Whatever effort you think it's going to take, multiply that by 10 too. It's really that straightforward. 10x thinking followed by 10x doing. And this really shows you the two paths you can take, right? The traditional path is safe, it's predictable, and it's ultimately, average. The 10x path, on the other hand, is where those extraordinary results are actually born. And here's the best part. Even if you set a huge 10x goal and you fall short, you often land miles beyond where you would have been with just a realistic goal. But taking 10x action isn't just about grinding it out. It's not about brute force. It actually starts with a huge, radical shift in your mindset. This isn't just about working harder. It's about fundamentally changing how you see the world and your role in it. This one idea right here can be a complete game changer. Think about it. What if success isn't something you just hope for, but something you actually owe? Something you owe to yourself, to your family, to your future potential. When you reframe success as a duty, as an ethical obligation, it stops being an option and it becomes a necessity. And that shift, that changes everything. Now, this whole mindset is built on a few core beliefs that all work together. It starts with taking absolute control. No more excuses. It means you channel obsession as a gift, not some kind of flaw. It's about seeing fear not as a warning to stop, but as a compass that's pointing you exactly where you need to go. And finally, it means seeing criticism not as an attack, but as a signal that you're finally making waves. Okay, so let's move on to the engine of the 10x rule and see how it builds on that really powerful mindset we just talked about. So basically, all of our efforts can be broken down into these 4 levels. Most of us, and I mean most of us, live in that third-degree normal action. It's the amount of work that's socially acceptable. And no surprise, it gets you a socially acceptable average life. But to truly break out of the pack, there's only one place to operate, that 4th degree, massive action. Here is a powerful way to know if you're really on the right track. Are you creating new problems? I'm talking about problems like having too many customers to handle or being too busy to deal with all the new opportunities coming your way. See, those aren't signs of failure. They are the clearest indicators that you are making massive progress. Ultimately, massive action isn't about competing. It's really about dominating. The goal is to become omnipresent, to just be everywhere. You want to be so active that when people think about your industry, they automatically think of you. Because your biggest threat isn't your competition, it's being unknown. And massive action is the only cure for being invisible. So we'll leave you with this question. Just forget realistic for a minute. If you truly, honestly aimed 10 times higher than you are right now, and you backed it up with 10 times the action, what do you think you could really achieve?